man, bad news. Tyson Fury advisor, they want to say former advisor Daniel Kinahan and MTK Global, now being shown and exposed in a new documentary by BBC. They're supposed to be uncovering some pretty heinous stuff. We're going to talk about that and explain the impact of this and more. What up, Fight World? It's your boy Ego, and I'm back with some more boxing. Make sure you smash the like button. Also, subscribe to my channel for the latest and greatest in boxing. Now, I had to make this video in a few hours. They're getting ready to show this MTK documentary, which is supposed to be exposing the whole underworld. And you guys see the articles on the screen. It's funny that I seem to be the only one talking about this, but whatever. Tyson Fury, longtime advisor, and he's someone he said he wants to be the prime minister, Daniel Kinahan, is now the center of this new documentary. And you see MTK fighters who have recently, they sound like upset that this documentary is leaking by BBC. It says suspected crime boss Daniel Kinahan has not stepped away from boxing, claims new documentary. Mob boss Daniel Kinahan battling to save position as boxing's powerhouse ahead of BBC Panorama expose, right? So basically what they're suggesting, and I haven't seen this, it hasn't come up, it's coming on in a couple hours. Suspected crime boss who brokered the deal for Tyson Fury to fight Anthony Joshua has not stepped away from boxing entirely and still provides personal advice to fighters, claims new BBC Panorama documentary. So they're saying that based on scrutiny, public backlash, because Daniel Kinahan is pretty much a target in Ireland because there's been crimes even at a boxing event, things like that. And the people who have had their lives or families or family members impacted or taken, people are organizing and they're trying to put him on blast. It says Kinahan, who was named by the High Court in Dublin as a senior figure in an organized crime gang, is still involved in boxing, which has been revealed. A new BBC Panorama, so something similar to the US 60 Minutes, Dateline, something in that vein. It says airs today, February 1st, discloses that the suspected gangster still provides advice to a number of boxers despite news last year that he has stepped away from the sport. So he's the co-founder of MTK Global, and you've seen recent fighters, Virgil Ortiz Jr., Joseph Jojo Diaz, and others sign with this company. And now there's I don't know if they understand the impact of what's going on over there, because those are fighters primarily in America who have signed with the company. But we'll see how this all plays out, because this whole expose, whatever they have in this documentary, some people don't want it out. It says prominent promoters MTK Global announced in 2017 that Kinahan had cut ties with the company, but confirmed as part of the new documentary that he still provides personal advice to some of MTK Global's boxers. MTK Global told the BBC that Kinahan never owned or controlled a stake in the company, and he has never been a registered employee. His involvement in boxing emerged last year when he was revealed as an advisor to WBC heavyweight champ Tyson Fury. And Ego Stradamus strikes again. As I mentioned, Tyson Fury blabbermouth and said, "Oh, Daniel, my boy," and did all this screaming on tape. He later deleted this video, and it put Kinahan in deep waters, because what people had suspected, you now had a voice, you now had an imagery, you had a visual of Tyson Fury, bald head ass, screaming that he's fighting Anthony Joshua and he just got to get past Wilder, which he's now saying he doesn't want to ever fight Wilder again, and they're in a mediation arbitration. But Tyson Fury in this video, this particular video, was screaming that he just got off the phone with Kinahan, which was a silly move if this guy is a nefarious character and wanted and on the lam and supposedly stepped away from boxing for Tyson Fury to put him on blast was just a careless mistake. Now they're doing whole documentaries about the organization, and I guess, I haven't watched it, so they're going to be uncovering some, I guess, whatever deeds have been done. And in addition to that, you have Garda, which is basically the feds over in the UK. They're tracking all the movement of this whole gang and whole organization. Fury previously credited Kinahan with helping him make an inspired ring return 2017 after depression and drug, blah, blah, blah. But Fury's revelation that Kinahan held a key role in negotiations to make a potential doubleheader with Anthony Joshua was met with fierce criticism last year, and the decision was made to part ways. That's what they told us. Bob Arum had to try to douse and put out the fire because Tyson Fury ran his mouth and said, "Oh, Daniel, my boy." It says, "We've talked with Dan, who Tyson and I both love and admire and respect, and he understands it's the best the negotiations on Tyson's side be handled this way," Bob Arum said. And keep in mind, the day that Bob Arum said they have parted ways with Daniel Kinahan after public backlash and people threatening boycotts, Tyson Fury said that he wants Dan Kinahan for prime minister, which is basically the presidential equivalent. So that was kind of almost a hint. Is it not really smart movement by Fury, but that was almost a hint that despite this separation from Bob Arum, I'm still rocking with Dan Kinahan. Because why would you say that the day your promoter says, "Hey, we've cut ties with Daniel Kinahan. We love and respect it, but it's best that Top Rank and Frank Warren take care of his negotiations," and then Tyson Fury says that. Really weird behavior from Fury. Says both Tyson and I have discussed this with Dan, and he is amendable and satisfied and wished us luck. He only wants the best for Tyson Fury. Criticism appeared to reduce significantly when it was revealed Kinahan was stepping away from boxing, but BBC Panorama claims that no such split from boxing took place, which is what I predicted. Of course, people are going to say, we're no longer a party to this situation, and who knows behind the scenes. Now this documentary is I haven't watched it, so again, they're confirming that they have intel or information that this ain't the case. He hasn't really stepped away. Says the courts in Ireland have detailed that the Kinahan organized crime group, which they named Kinahan a senior figure, is involved in drug trafficking, money laundering, and gangland executions. Kinahan moved to Dubai, which is conveniently, what a coincidence, where they said they want to put Anthony Joshua and Tyson Fury in the Middle East or in Dubai. And this is where Kinahan lives and had a company that he was working with, KHK Sports. Police said to believe Kinahan family is running the drug cartel business from there. His legal team have continued to insist that he has no criminal convictions and the allegations about him running a violent cartel are false. They add that there's no evidential basis for these wild allegations. Statement from Kinahan's lawyers to the BBC, quote, "He is proud of the record in boxing to date. He has operated on the basis of honesty and with a commitment to putting fighters' needs first. Mr. Kinahan is a successful independent advisor in the boxing industry in his own right. It is a matter of public record that he has exited the business of MTK." So I don't know what's going on. I'm going to check this documentary, but doesn't sound good. In addition, since nobody else is talking about stuff like this, they said Danorama. In addition to this, keep in mind, in America, Kinahan is involved in a suit which claims the RICO law from Joseph Jojo Diaz's old promoter. So we have to see how that plays out. But this is just all bad news. Anytime there's these documentaries, people are going to watch and, pick a side or whatever. Danorama mob boss Kinahan battling to save position as boxing powerhouse ahead of BBC Panorama expose on crime gang. Under pressure, mob boss, look at how they keep saying mob boss Daniel Kinahan. They're really after this man. Look, these are people, I guess, that have been arrested that are in cahoots with this. Ahead of the 1 hour show, Christy Dapper Don Kinahan's eldest son, has again maintained his stance that he is just a legitimate businessman. And once again, it just seems that Tyson Fury keeps being involved in different characters that have a lot of baggage, a lot of stuff going on. Although the Irish Sun on Sunday could reveal he was made aware of the content of the show last year, he waited till Friday before again reiterated his pleas that he's not the head of Europe's biggest drug cartels. Garda, which is the feds, believes he issued a statement claiming he would not receive a fair trial in Ireland as damage limitation exercise ahead of the show. It said Daniel is incapable of receiving a fair trial, not just in Ireland, but elsewhere in the world due to a barrage of media accusations and coverage. So I don't know, man. This can't be good. And the funny thing is this. I'll say this. Al Heyman is an advisor in boxing. He's a black man from Cleveland, and he's an advisor in boxing. When he first came out and separated from HBO and he came out with PBC, this black advisor, Al Heyman, was crucified in the media in America. And people said he was like hoarding venues and he was creating, a workplace that was not taking care of the fighters. He's the cancer of boxing, right? This is what they said. He was even sued by Oscar De La Hoya and Golden Boy, which got dismissed, as well as Top Rank. And I believe they had some kind of settlement. But the point I'm making is this. Al Heyman, a black advisor, was up against it in terms of people were saying he was bad for the sport of boxing. If you look at media, and they were saying he owes money and the investors they want their money back, Waddell and Reed. It was just negative press. And this is what you've seen for the black advisor, Al Heyman, right? Some of these same business entities that said Al Heyman was the cancer of boxing aren't saying anything about advisor Daniel Kinahan. And I just read excerpts from what's being accused. I don't know, but I'm going off of what they're saying, and he sounds infamous. He sounds nefarious. And it's just funny to see this double standard in boxing. Tyson Fury's advisor, not like nobody's accused that I know has accused Al Heyman of orchestrating murders and money laundering and executions and retaliations and yada, yada, yada. This is what's being said about founders and people with MTK, and old media ain't saying nothing about it. But whatever, the BBC got this documentary. I'm gonna check it out because I like to get the facts and just see the information presented, where they got the information from. But this doesn't look good for Tyson Fury, which if you're being accused of money laundering and they're saying the boss or founder that you allegedly split from lives in Dubai, and recently you've heard Joshua Fury could happen in Dubai. I mean, that's pretty interesting stuff. It's pretty interesting that coincidentally they want to put fights like Joshua Fury in Dubai, where they're saying this Kinahan is running his organization out of, and it was a bad look for Tyson Fury to get on the horn and say, Daniel, my boy, because it's been downhill since then, and it's been more speculation. Sometimes to make a move, the feds and people like that, all they need is that they're already on to you, but all they need is that shred of evidence that links you to anything. And the moment Tyson Fury said, yo, I just got off the phone with Kinahan, right? I got off the phone with him and he just made the Joshua fight. That put a bullseye on Daniel Kinahan's back, and now they're going crazy looking for him. Says the gang boss, described in Spanish police files as head of law organization, made a similar statement. He's been vilified, blah, blah, blah. I don't know, man, but this Daniel Kinahan will be absolutely livid that this program will be aired in a country in which he's desperate to make a name for himself. Man, this is crazy. This is crazy. I'm not going to read through all of it, But ever since Fury did this, it's been crazy. Look, this is the BBC. Boxing crime boss Daniel Kinahan still working in the sport. A suspected crime boss still working at the top of the world of boxing, BBC's Panorama investigation has found. Wow. So good luck with Joshua Fury, but it looks to be there's a lot of baggage that is coming with this fight. Now you could kind of understand why Tyson Fury's team and stuff, they're looking to hurry up and get this one off and skip over Deontay the Bronze Bomber Wilder. That's what it appears to me. You know, especially if they're being accused of money laundering and stuff like that. What better way to make money disappear and come anew and come fresh than to have what they're saying is a big fight between Fury and Joshua, where you at least have an excuse to say, oh, we generated this type of profit off of this fight, you know? So this is just a bad look. Documentary is airing today. We'll see what they say. You know, innocent until proven guilty, but this can't be a good look when your advisor and founder of a MTK Global is being targeted and they have documentaries in this fashion. Once again, using a black advisor in America who was definitely vilified when he first came out with PBC. Ask yourself certain questions. Have you ever seen a documentary on Al Heyman that said he was orchestrating hits and responsible for shootings or drive-bys or, you know, anything like that? Can you imagine if a black fighter like Deontay Wilder was citing Nino Brown or BMF, or if Canelo was citing El Chapo and say, hey, I just got off the phone with El Chapo. Chapo, my boy. Like that's unheard of. But this is what Tyson Fury decided to do. He decided to scream somebody who has a past name on camera, and it created all the people who feel that they've been impacted by this family. You know, it led to them on this crusade to try to track him down and stuff like that. Very bad move from Tyson Fury to do that. That's why he probably deleted it, because it's no longer on his Instagram page. Crazy stuff, people. The documentary will be out today. Drop your thoughts in the comment section. We work.
So if you enjoyed this video and want more content like this on the channel, you can show your appreciation by going to the PayPal donate button or the YouTube support button, and you can donate any amount that you feel is equivalent to the value of this video. Much more to come. Thank you guys for your support. Boxingego, the future of boxing.